Ed Rose joins me today to discuss his new hobby business, the Gym Mint Club. It's fairly new, and I didn't know much about it until these last couple weeks when I started to see him on a couple other shows. Well, today we're going to learn more directly from Ed. So, Ed, welcome.
Hey, thanks for having me, Mike. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I'm glad we get a chance to talk about it. I love when new businesses enter the hobby, kind of think outside the box, try something new, and kind of have something new for the hobby world and the collecting world. And I think that's one of the things that you're going to be bringing to the table today. I always think it's helpful to start with getting to know the people behind some of these new hobby startups. So, what is your background in the hobby?
So my background in hobby, honestly, it's helped me a lot, to be honest with you. So I spent 15 years working in a prison. And so I ran up through management, stuff like that, and had a pretty decent position there. And at the time, I was during 2020, when that famous year hit, I was actually running a COVID unit at the prison, and the stress was it was insane. And things were shut down, all these pieces. I remember my best friend, he walked in my office and he's like, "Hey, get on your computer, sports cards are back." I was like, "What do you mean sports cards are back?" And I'm just thinking like the box, it's thing you hear about everyone say, the box that I used to have when I was a kid and all of these pieces to it. And then we jumped on eBay, I think it was, he was showing me all these cards. And then from there, I was like, man, I want these, not only from like a business side of it, but man, I missed the cards I used to have. So that was really how I started getting into it. And then just organically through that, left that position and was looking for something new. Another friend of mine talked about this, and that's where we jumped off with the Gym Mint Club. But that's kind of my short into, hey, this is how I got back into this. So it's been a lot of fun.
Did you collect as a kid then?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely did collect as a kid. But I can't even act like I tried to even take care of my cards in any way, shape, or form. I had a shoebox full of them. I would go down, we would trade. And I remember thinking as a kid that they were more valuable if they had like wrinkles and were crumpled.
Sure.
So I wanted them to look old,
Yep.
So I knew absolutely nothing about it. And it's been a good time thinking back on it and realizing, man, really wish I would have known a little bit more. But now with the internet, I mean, I feel like these kids are really getting an education on, hey, this is how you should do it. This is how you get into it. Some do's and don'ts. So that's been good.
That's not the first time I've heard that story. You're a kid and you say, "Hey, I hear about all these old cards worth a lot of money, and they all had wrinkles and rounded corners, and so I better make my cards look like
That's
that
it.
too."
Yeah, that's all. I can actually remember like just crumbling it up and trying to smudge it out, and that's perfect, and putting it back in a little box and be like, "Oh, I did a good job today."
So you mentioned you joining forces with one of your friends to start Gym Mint Club. What was the inspiration for the Gym Mint Club?
So I started out and I wanted to get into something new. I really was looking for something just fun, kind of like we were talking about earlier, like try a little podcast thing out, stuff like that. Um, and we were looking at doing like maybe doing breaks and things of that sort. But to be honest, I'm not talented enough to do breaks. And there was so much that goes with that. It just was not going to work out. And I had a good friend of mine who called me and said he had an idea about doing rewards for the hobby. And so we started brainstorming this piece, and basically, to cut it short, what we do is we're a rewards program for the hobby so that you can buy cards anywhere, doesn't matter where. You take a picture of your receipt, you upload it to our app, and then based off of how much you spend, you get raffle tickets to enter into free raffles each month that we do. And so getting into that and being outside, we're not selling anything, and we really just get to go around and meet people in this industry. And it's been so welcoming, just such a positive experience for us. We're having a really fun time kind of in the place that we've kind of began to etch ourselves into with it. It's been a lot of fun.
So how exactly does that work then? So somebody signs up on the app, they become a member, one of the free memberships, I guess. Um, how does it work? Like you're doing giveaways, but you mentioned that it's a free membership. How are you getting that product, or how is the
Yeah.
company going to make any money? Like just one of those first questions from the business mind comes in is like free. I can see the benefit for the collector here, but how are you as a company going to make money or acquire that product with with free memberships?
So when we pretty much launched at the Mint Collective this year, and that was a lot of fun because there was so much B2B. And in that, we would talk to these companies like, wait, so how do you make money doing this? And so it's been fun letting them know. But basically how it works is, yeah, we have 3 membership tiers. Ideally coming into this, and we kind of touched on it before, like I bought cards as a kid, but I definitely did not have a lot of money as a kid. And so the thing that first kind of, and how just expensive products are. I mean, I just got a text today from a friend who was looking at, what was that new release? Flawless, the Flawless basketball. And he's like, I'm like, yeah, that's a lot of money. And so we wanted to do something that anyone at any entry level could really benefit out of. So to answer your question, we have 3 membership levels. We have a free one where we do kind of like your non-hobby box items, to cut it short. We got baseball in there, some basketball, things of that sort. And then we have a $10 a month one, and that's going to be getting you better. That makes you eligible to get better raffles, basically. And so that's where you will be seeing the hobby boxes and things. And then we have an exquisite membership. It's $225 a year. And with that, you're not only getting the most high-end raffles, but we're also working on partnerships with local card shops, grading services, so that you come in, you show that you're an exquisite member, you get a metal card in the mail. You show your exquisite member, you get, let's say, 10% off this product or this membership or a couple giveaways on this. So that's something that we're working on right now. We've been pretty new into the industry. And so we're really thinking that by the national, we'll be having some of those fired up.
Do any of those paid memberships, are there any, other than having like extra entries into the drawings and access to some of the higher level drawings or giveaways, are there any other kind of guaranteed benefits that people have access to when they're paying for that membership, or is it simply just additional additional entries into the drawings?
So it's definitely the base of it. The real thought behind it is that the quality of the giveaways. And so set the exquisite one aside, because that one we do want to load with discounts and benefits around that area, player meet and greets. We do want to get into the point where we're giving away tickets to games and things like that. So that's something we're looking at. Your base membership, the free one, and the pro one, the $10 a month, really the difference there is going to be the quality of the product that's being given out. The UFC Prism hobby box, for example, one of those versus an undercard box. So really trying to make we really want people to see the value in going up to the $10 a month one.
I'm just curious because I could see this question potentially coming up. Have you explored, or have you guys been able to gain clarity that based on paying for a membership, which then gets you raffle tickets, that doesn't cross that line of sweepstakes law and gambling law and things like that? Has that been something that you've kind of clarified in case people are wondering, where things stand from that perspective?
Yeah, we've looked into that and we're all in the clear there. The only state that really we've seen kind of has an issue is Washington State, which kind of sucks because I'm right next to Washington. But talking to some local card shop owners there, their giveaway laws are so strict that we can't do much there. Now people can enter from Washington, we just can't advertise and promote and things like that sort. Aside from that though, since there's no monetary piece to it, and it's also coming from, like I said, where people are already spending the money, they're just taking those receipts of what they're buying, and that's what's getting used to get them the raffle tickets. And as far as the giveaways go too, we're really doing everything we can to keep it as spread across the field even as possible. So we have it set up that right now it's only 10 entries per person. So that way someone can't come in and buy the entire giveaway piece. We also have it set to right now at 100 entries on our giveaways total. And so we're really going to try to work on keeping those numbers down, so that way people are able to have a fair shot at winning these, whether you're a pro member who spends, a couple $100 a month and you've worked up to that giveaway ticket, or you're one of these collectors out there who's spending, tens of thousands a month on cards and you have an ungodly amount of raffle tickets, but you're still going to have the same chance of winning.
Are you also I know you mentioned you went to the Mint, and you mentioned you're going to be going to the National this coming summer, and you're talking with different companies, shops. Have you explored kind of sponsorship relationships with some of the card manufacturers or some of the big online retail outlets like Blowout and DA Card World and things like that to kind of join forces a little bit and maybe kind of have it automatic. You enter your Gem Mint Club membership number at checkout, and they automatically kind of get that information to you to make it easier to get your tickets and things like that, or get boxes of product from some of the manufacturers themselves for that cross promotion opportunity. Are those things that you're exploring as well?
100%. We want to make this experience as easy as possible for users. And so especially coming in, because it's really nice being that we're the only rewards program out there for the industry, only universal rewards program for the industry. And so, yes, we are working on, we've been in talks with a couple different companies right now on integrating on the back end. So that way, like you said, you go to checkout, you enter in your membership number and this discount's applied, or just automatically your purchase gets uploaded. So that way you really don't have to even mess with the app. You just get to enjoy the raffles on it. So that is something that we are looking at and working on.
I want to revisit something that you just said, because I think it's important for people to understand. You mentioned it's a universal rewards program. So the spend that gets people tickets, that can be at Target, it can be at an LCS, it can be directly on Tops.com or from DA Card World or Blowout, or a show, right? If there's some way to show proof of a payment at a show, like the rewards or the access to the raffle tickets comes from anywhere with any type of product, right?
Yes. And that's really the fun thing, is that we're not trying to separate the hobby at all. And so whether you are someone who likes to purchase at Target and wait at 3 a.m. for the trucks to get unloaded and all that, I've been there before. If you further want to do that, or you go to local card shops, card shows, anything like that. The only thing we really can't do is cash transactions. That's the one thing that we just haven't really broached yet. But if a lot of people are using PayPal, Venmo, and those other person-to-person services. And so anything like that, just take a screenshot of the purchase and upload on the app, or take a picture of your physical receipt. But yeah, we do. And that has been something nice too, as far as talking to these other companies, is we're able to do it with everybody. There's no differentiation on it.
That brings up another question that I was curious about. You mentioned taking a picture of a receipt or a screenshot of your PayPal transaction or something like that. Privacy is a topic that seems to be on everybody's mind as well. So, if you're going to be getting copies of receipts and screenshots of PayPal, those types of things, how are you handling privacy? What customer information are you actually capturing, and how are you keeping it safe? And, will that customer info ever be sold as part of your business plan? That type of thing.
No, we don't retain the data. We right now, because we're so new on this, it's myself and my business partner. He's the one that reviews the receipts, and we just look to make sure that the dollar amount that you entered is the dollar amount on the receipt. So as far as the privacy piece goes, if anyone feels like they want to circle out or cross out any information on receipt, that's totally fine. We just need to see the card purchase and the dollar amount to that. And that was really the receipt way, is the way of verifying it. But as far as data and things of that sort, we're not keeping it.
And how long have you been going now? Have you actually gone through the? I know it's fairly new. The Mint Collective was just a couple months ago, and you're getting off the ground. Have the giveaways and that type of things started yet at this point?
Not yet. July 1st will be our first one.
Okay, so you're still building the base at this point.
Building the base still. We've had really consistent receipt uploads, really consistent downloads now too. So we're starting to build some traction. And like hearing from you that you've heard of us and things of that, it means a lot, because we're trying to get out there, but we're also trying to do it the right way. We're not buying followers or anything like that. We don't try and bombard people with advertisements. We had a conversation about the app itself of, should we put ads on the app? It was like, no, we don't. It's not what we're about. We feel like we can build a really good community that wants to get better raffles. I mean, that's really what it comes down to. The stronger the community base, the better the raffles go. And so we've been building it the right way. We started it June of last year, as far as like the app development, and it came live just before the Mint. So about a month before. So we've been going now for about 2-3 months or so.
Okay. Well, what else do you want people to know about the Gem Mint Club?
I mean, really the goal that we have is to reward this hobby in this industry. And I kind of touched on it before. I do have a spot in my heart for the parents of young collectors and young collectors themselves. So really them being able to purchase product and then know that, hey, I can win more off this just for doing what I'm already doing and what I enjoy doing. I was in a card shop the other day, and this kid bought his first pack of NBA cards, and he was over in the corner with his mom, and they were going through them, and he pulled a LeBron James, and he was just losing his mind. And literally that was that's the feeling that we want to invoke in people. Is you jump on this, it's a free piece. If you want to get better end stuff, you pay for the pro membership. But we want people to be excited, to be happy, to get that thrill of that pull. And so that's really at heart what we're working on here. Another piece too, I keep touching on, kids in the hobby. I have 2 daughters, so that's always kind of on my mind. But we also do a kickback program. So when you see us at card shows and things, we are actually doing giveaways to be at these card shows where we're giving away 2 kids at the shows. We'll be at the Union Marketplace in the Pechanga Resort in San Diego, and then we'll be at the National too.
Very cool. If people want to learn more, or if people want to get the app, where do they go to learn more, and where do they go to get the app?
They can just contact me on Instagram. I got my handle there. Also the Gem Mint Club, at the Gem Mint Club as well. That's where we'll be doing our giveaways. We'll be live on IG. And then as far as the app, it's available on the Apple Play Store and the App Store, just the Gem Mint Club.
Okay. So it's on the Google Play. It's up for Android and Apple iOS products right now. I will put links to the website, links to your Instagram handle in the show notes. So if people didn't catch that in the stream or on the recording, you can check the show notes to be able to get links to the Gem Mint Club as well. Encourage you to dig in, check it out, and learn a little bit more. Ed, I appreciate your time today. Thanks for telling us a little bit about this brand new idea in the hobby.
Thanks, Mike. I really appreciate it. It's fun talking to you.